Indoor cycling, Zwift, racing, parenting. We cover those and all of our hopes and dreams in between. Welcome to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast, an entertaining look into the lives of everyday people trying to achieve virtual cycling glory from our basements and garages from around the world. This podcast is rooted in Zwift and has evolved into found friendships, fitness, health, and a little sprinkle of humor. This may be one of the only podcasts where a little heavy breathing shouldn't scare you away, because we're riding our bikes while we're recording it.
Good morning.
Greg literally just hopped in. So timely. Fashionable 10 minutes late, but that's fine. We won't hold it against you.
Fashionably on time, just like you said, Doug.
That's right. Well, we've got our special guest today, who goes by many names. For us, he's Keats. In real life, he's Jesse Keaton. Sometimes he's LT Gray, but he's always a friend. Jesse Keaton, everybody.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Welcome, Jesse.
Hello.
Morning, Jesse.
So we coerced Jesse, A, to get up super early today, and to get on Zwift, which he was informing us he had not been on for how long?
It's been weeks. For sure.
Not only that, but Greg and I also get the pleasure of riding time trial with him tomorrow. So Greg,
waking up early this morning is totally worth it.
Yeah, it's a practice run.
Yeah.
It's a leg opener, as they call it.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely needed it.
Now, Greg, before you hopped on, I told Jesse, he said he's going to get dropped, early. I said, listen,
I know.
I am the weakest link on that team. Don't you be trying to gun for my spot. That is my spot.
Yeah. And Dad still doesn't get dropped, so.
We'll see.
So you're not getting dropped, Jesse.
That's right. We'll tie you to us if we have to. Anyway.
Sounds good to me.
Jesse, tell us about yourself, man. Where you from? What do you do? That sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I'd say I'm pretty much from Kentucky, South Central Kentucky. It's a little town called Russell Springs. What we're most known for is Lake Cumberland, if anybody knows Lake Cumberland. So that's where I grew up, spent most of my life in school. Before that, I was in Frederick, Maryland, which is like 45 minutes outside of Baltimore. And then after that, after I graduated, I moved to Cincinnati because that's where my wife lived. She's a little bit older, so I followed her. And then what I do.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I'm riding in Zwift right now, and Steve just said, tell Jesse I said hi.
Excellent timing.
Hey, Steve.
Just after Jesse talked about his wife, too. Wonderful timing.
I should say, I believe it's Steve K, not Steve Bonica.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Dang it.
That would have been funny timing.
It says Eat Dirt Jacks afterwards, so anyway.
Yeah. So what I do, so I guess first of all, husband and father, I think that's probably job number one. And then professionally, I work for a company called ANSYS. We sell simulation software to test different things, and I work in sales strategy for them.
All right. That I always loved, like people that have jobs that are very nondescript, give very nondescript explanations of said job. Like, I do things in the software realm for testing. I'm sure that, like, it's probably way more interesting than what they say it is, But it's like, it's not like I'm a policeman or I'm a firefighter.
Right.
I'm a teacher. So
when I'm doing
I was gonna say.
jury selections, one of the questions the jurors have to write down on their questionnaire about themselves is what they do. My favorite one is sales. I'm like, what do you sell? Where do you sell it? Who do you sell it to? Tell me about this job you have.
those are superfluous details that you don't need to know, lawyer man.
It matters.
They're like, what if I told you it was marijuana? What would you select then?
I had 2 of those on my last one.
See, I told you. All right.
It's like delivery. What do you deliver? Marijuana. I was like, okay, cool.
Box checked.
How often do you talk to people you've never met? How does that go?
Sorry, Jesse.
No,
All right, I apologize.
Our brains are everywhere today.
So it's actually a new job. I could probably give you a little bit more.
I was going to say, there's been lots of talk of leaving J&J.
Yeah.
But
so
we had missed Jesse.
I was in medical devices before for about 4 years with Johnson & Johnson, doing the same type thing. So software industry's pretty new to me anyway. But one of the selling factors, small, but factor nonetheless, was part of their simulation software. They're working to develop the world's fastest TT bike.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's on their website.
Wow.
Whenever I was doing a little bit of research,
That's pretty cool.
that popped up, and it shouldn't have weighed as much as it did on my mind, but it definitely did.
I mean, that's like the little kid in all of us is like, yeah, you go for a job and they're like, oh, by the way, we have a lounge full of Legos. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sign me up. Yeah, it's been,
For the record, we don't have that at the hospital.
That's awesome.
It's not a thing. Unless you go to the Pete's floor. I think they have it up there.
I was going to say, pediatrics has to have one of those tables.
They got like a 20-year-old Xbox up there, too. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
so my wife works at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. She's been there for like 13, 14 years. They've got all that stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, game consoles, Legos.
I'm
Pretty much
assuming
anything you
more
could want.
updated than the 20-year-old Xbox that the Cape Girardeau
Yeah.
Hospital has.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. They have better donors than we do, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a pretty good hospital. That's what they
I was
always
going to
tout.
say that's a renowned hospital.
Yeah.
When my wife was considering going into her industry, that was like a top job to get.
Yeah. Yeah, we have stickers all over our cars all the time about, I think they flip-flop back and forth between the number 2 and number 3 children's hospital, depending on what specialty you're looking at.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. What does she do there?
She's in IT. She's a project manager.
Cool.
Yeah, she does a lot of different things, but she's been working on some pretty big projects recently, bringing in some. Dodd, you would probably know a little bit
She
more
works
about
for
this.
Epic, right?
She does.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
That's
I
the.
think I probably knew that
for,
then.
For those not in the medical field, that is the medical record, the electronic medical record company, one of them that hospitals use to do their work and manage their medical records. So
yeah.
I use it every day. It's great.
So she does stuff with that, but then I guess I don't know. There's like vendors and stuff, care vendors that you can go to outside of the hospital that hospitals are looking to like integrate into their system, and so she's doing stuff with that currently.
So like bringing other hospitals onto their system, basically.
Kind of. It's not really hospitals. It's like
clinics and stuff.
like Care Source or like things like that.
Yeah.
Like that kind of data. Yeah.
Now you gave the answer early on that you husband and father first. I think you're the first person that's ever said that, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
So bravo to you, sir.
Thanks.
But tell us about why you're a dad. You have a couple little girls, right?
I do. Yep.
Adorable little girls. Let's qualify that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, funny enough, didn't want kids, and then
Don't tell them that.
God no.
At least not until they're older.
I would never say I didn't want you, but yeah,
This guy's smart.
context is key. But yeah, so then got married, and my wife's name's Sarah. She wanted 4, and I was like, no, how about 2? We can settle on 2. So
See that negotiation skills there?
Through the middle.
See that?
sales strategy, right?
That's right. Sales.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my oldest daughter is Violet. We had her. She's 8. She'll be 9 in August. And then my youngest daughter is Hazel, and she is 5. She'll be 6 in July.
I guess I didn't realize how close your kids are in age to Greg's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
Yeah. We've had Jesse and I have had this discussion. His advantage is that he's like 5 years younger than me, so he's much less exhausted, I think, all the time.
Yeah. I think it's a good exhaustion, but I look forward to it. They do.
Yeah.
They want to mimic what their dad and mom do. So, they want to ride their bike all the time, go for runs, hike, swim. So, yeah, Violet's turning into, she's getting more mature. So she's, you can have full logical conversations with her, and she gets it, so that's fun.
I can't wait for those days. I tried to explain to my 4-year-old how syrup is made yesterday. I don't think she was into it. It's like, well,
Like maple syrup?
yeah, I was like, there are trees called maple trees, and then went on and
Oh man.
you collect the sap, then you boil the sap down, blah, blah, blah. Anyway,
Give yourself a year or two and you're checking out books from the library and reading those books to your child. And then they have more questions.
Yeah. That's,
Are the trees okay?
No.
Yeah, the trees are okay.
you guys may be different on this, but like when my kids ask me a question, I give them the full breakdown.
Yeah.
Even now,
Yeah.
they're 4 and 2,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
I answer everything.
there's these things called mitochondria.
Yeah.
And they're just looking at me like, mitochondria?
I was trying to explain this past weekend on a walk, we saw a 3/4 of a mile sign. So I tried to explain what 3/4 meant and how it was a fraction. And that was a long conversation, and it ended with me saying, "You don't really like math, do you?" And Violet saying, "Nah."
You're like, and then you can transition into a decimal.
Yeah.
Has she started fractions in school yet?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. My son just got to him like, I don't know, second half of this year. And he got to him, and then they learned him, and he came to me and he was like, "Dad, that was that thing you were talking about. Like, you cut it in half, you cut it in half again, then you've got quarters, and then you add them back." I'm like, yes, that's that thing. It was like a glorious moment as a parent that he had remembered one of those conversations. And so now he's like, oh, we'll cut my sandwich in half. I have 2 halves. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's a 1/2. Like, yep, that's right.
See, I think that's the appropriate way to explain it. And my wife corrected me on that's how I should have explained it, but I related it to money. And I guess
Nice.
I guess she's not all there yet, but like $1, right? I said, how many quarters does it take to have $1? She's like, 4. Yeah, okay. So if you take one of those away, you've got 3/4 of $1.
Meanwhile, she's
I think
doing
that
this.
works.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah,
No, I'd have 3/4, Dad. I wouldn't have 3/4 of $1.
right.
That's weird. Rip the dollar up.
Yeah.
So
So the mile has money?
I needed to get more of these miles. So Jesse, but despite your recent absence from Zwift,
Yeah.
how long have you been on it?
So I started on Zwift probably around December of 2019, January 2020. I think that was my first actual ride. And then I kind of just putted around for a few months, and I got on Zwift because of Jimmy Luzau, or Jimmy, as you guys know. And he just kept saying, "Oh, we've got this team time trial, man. It's pretty fun. You should try it." And he also kept saying, "Don't upgrade too fast. Like, even though you can, don't upgrade too fast. Just hang out, you know." So I ended up ignoring that and going pretty much straight to B, and then started. I think my first team time trial was May of 2020, and it was. I can't remember everyone, but Jimmy, Keith, Jeremy. I want to say Lee was in there. Maybe Joe Goering.
I think you're right.
And I got dropped. And Jimmy actually fell off the group, came back and got me, and then pulled me back. And then I just kind of cruised the rest of the way. But yeah, and then I got super addicted to it. Started, creating spreadsheets every week, tracking what the course was, who was on it, what average powers were, what watts were, what our time was, what our position was relative to the field. And I did that for months. I've got a big spreadsheet.
That's excellent.
Amazing. Like, if you calculated how many work hours you walked in our group.
It wasn't done at work. It's done on his free time.
My lunch
free
break.
time for sure.
My lunch break, right.
After the kids go to bed.
Yeah. Waking up at 4 a.m, staring at a computer.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good way to introduce
There you go.
your kids' decimals. I did 4.1 watts per kilo.
They're like, "What's a kilo?"
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
have that conversation.
The whole other
But
conversation.
I was a much bigger guy then, though. I think I was at like 76 kilograms, something like that.
But
Huge.
Drew and I over here are like, yeah,
Terrible.
that's cute.
Yeah, it's huge. Sitting at 85 right now.
That's just power, man. Pure power.
But we don't know how tall
That's what I
Jesse
keep telling
is.
myself anyway.
We can't judge him. We can't fat shame him.
6 foot.
It's true.
Okay, he's taller than us too. Taller than me.
Ooh.
It's all,
Yeah, but not Zwift has. So before I got into Zwift, I was, running a little bit, doing some Spartan races, but I was lifting probably 6 days a week. And then I played tennis as well. So I was in tennis leagues. So I was more, I was not built to be a cyclist at that time. Now I'm against my best efforts. Just keep shedding pounds, man. Just
Sorry, I'm going to file this down in the not a problem realm. All right, just wrote that down. Okay, please continue.
yeah, no, it's been great though. Love Zwift, love group rides, love races. So I, was doing TTTs for a while, and I said it in the chat the other day. Keith Miller was one of the strongest riders on the team at that time. So
I'm gonna have to strike that from the record.
no,
We'll leave it in for a minute, but it's gonna have to go.
he was great. He was a great. He was a really strong rider, and
Was he a B at the time?
Only
He was a B.
only because he didn't want to be an A. Yeah.
Correct. Keith was like a 4.0
Yeah.
or a 3.99999 B.
Yeah, it's like,
So he was just mopping it up all the time.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He had a really good sprint. He could, ride at high outputs for, a long time. I mean, he was very, very smooth, efficient TTTer for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Dan we had 2 A's, I think, regular A's. It was Dan Meyer and Stephen Campbell.
Yeah.
And
This is the infamous Stephen Campbell. We've talked about him before, I think on our Kentucky trip. You said there's something unique about him. Anyway, we'll think about it. Continue.
yeah, I only rode a few times with him, but now that I'm thinking about Ryan, was he in Kentucky? Greg, you know who I'm talking about, Ryan.
Ryan
No,
Day.
Jimmy had mentioned his name as well.
Yeah, I do know who you're talking about that.
He's a Kentucky boy, but he was an A too, but I don't know if he was riding regularly at that time. But and then people started trickling in. Jay came on board, and Jay was a scrub when he first got here. Don't strike that from the record.
He had a $50 bike he bought from Boudreaux. So I mean, give him some with no gears, right?
No gears,
Correct.
yeah, or 1 gear, yeah.
Well, I
One
mean,
gear.
it had the equipment, it just didn't work.
There's the one. Yep.
So he
Shift.
that lasted probably 2 rides, and then he decided he was going to apply himself. And then I think when he started racing regularly, a lot of other people joined, and just kind of built up from there. But I mean, I think it's amazing to think about how much it's grown since I joined. And then I talked to like Jimmy and Greg, I'm sure like from the beginning, just a few people, how it's just, it seems really big now, really, it's,
There's
So you had no prior riding experience before
No.
getting on the Zwift in
No.
2019, 2020?
really.
yeah.
Good for you, man.
So I had a mountain bike again because Jimmy, he said, "Oh yeah, man, it's fine, and you don't have to spend any money. You just buy a bike, and then at that point you just keep air in the tires, and then you're good." And so that's how I sold it, and I hear about it every time I make a
Every
purchase
day.
now. Yeah. Remember that time you said it wouldn't cost any money? But so I had done that a few times, but just to be honest, I mean, I would go out with Jimmy and some of the riding group around here to mountain bike and just get absolutely demolished. So I think the turning point was, so they do bike packing trips where you get on your mountain bike, pack it down, like hammock and food and all that. And then you ride out to the back country, camp for a few days, ride for a few days, and then ride out. And I did a trip to Chattahoochee National Forest in Georgia with him and a few other guys. And I almost died. I felt like I almost died. Like long days, lots of elevation on single track nonetheless. And I bonked so hard on the long day. And then whenever I got back, I just thought, okay, I can't be like this anymore. So I really started riding regularly and racing as much as I could. And it just kind of took off from there.
It's funny how Jimmy had mentioned to us whenever we were in Kentucky how he got Peter into it. And Peter initially bought a Peloton and he was like, so disappointed. He's like, but you could be on Zwift. So if anything, we've realized that Jimmy is also in sales. He says he's software development. He's sales.
Jimmy is
Yeah, man.
he's a sneaky recruiter. You know, I mean, you guys have met him, so he's, you know, a real easygoing, nonchalant guy. So he's not going to be pushy about it. He's just going to kind of toss it in the conversation, talk about how fun it is, and next thing you know, you're hooked.
Yes.
That's right.
Jimmy is genuinely enthusiastic about
Yes,
things
he
that he
is.
likes.
That is a wonderful
Which is-
description, actually.
It is, which is
Yeah.
infectious.
Yeah.
If you are looking for anything to do.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is.
Call.
I had not really interacted with Jimmy much before our trip to Kentucky. I'll say, like, yeah, first impressions of Jimmy were, I want to hang out with this guy
Yeah.
more. Like, he's fun.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. His family's great too. His brother's actually here in Cincinnati. He got a trainer and started on Zwift kind of around Christmas time. So we haven't been able to get him into the races yet, but yeah, they're good guys for sure. And Jimmy is like software, bikes, coffee, drones.
Oh, we didn't talk about
Yeah,
drones.
yeah,
Oh, no.
he likes drones, and Ohio State. I guess I'll throw that out there. As much as I hate it,
That's true. Even that, I mean, Jimmy reps Ohio State, but he's never
Exactly.
in your face or angry about it. He's always very polite.
yeah, he's
Is it customary to be angry about Ohio State, or is that, am I missing
I mean,
something?
there's a rabidness of support in
that's a
general.
good description. Yeah, we'll call it passion, right? They're very passionate
yeah.
fans. But yeah, it's funny because for the longest time I knew, you know, Jimmy liked Ohio State, but that's pretty much the extent of it. And then years after I met him for the first time, I was talking to him about Notre Dame, and then he just kind of like dropped it in conversation. Yeah, you know, I really don't like Notre Dame, but you know, you never heard that come out of his mouth before otherwise.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I wonder what that's like to be like that. Like for me, I hear somebody's like a Red Sox fan. That's like the first thing out
Is
of my
it,
mouth.
you're like,
Like,
Yankees
oh,
for
God.
life.
Yeah, really don't like the Red Sox. Little Jimmy's got that Midwest courtesy.
Now, this is an outsider perspective, so take it as you will, but I equate it to like, I'm wearing my green t-shirt today. You're wearing your blue t-shirt. I don't like your blue t-shirt. I like my green t-shirt.
Yeah,
You know what?
I don't like the color blue.
I'm the one who has to
Yeah.
wear this t-shirt, not you.
Yeah.
So, cool.
I think it's a good way to be, not just with sports, but with anything else, you know?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Well, I mean, not to get too deep into this, but like the core of all sports and entertainment is enjoyment,
Sure.
and pleasure, right? So, like, if you're
Yeah.
not getting that out
Yep.
of it, then maybe find something else. Take up golf. I hear that's fun. I don't know.
Unless it's a debate about Tiger
Well,
Woods' comeback.
you and
case?
Sully can debate anything. We know this.
Are you a Tiger Woods fan, Drew?
No, I guess you may have missed that day in Discord where I put it out there and I was like, hot take. Like, I don't care about Tiger Woods' comeback. And it devolved into this day-long discussion between me, Greg Thompson, and Sully.
Wait, was that
A number of different
was that
topics.
about relevancy,
Ended with Sully.
or is that a different topic? Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically my original point, and then just because I can't stay on topic for more than 5-10 minutes at a time, Sully was like, "I can't argue with you anymore. I'm out." Like, I don't even know what we're arguing about anymore.
Fair description of how it went.
It's a very fluid
Yep.
topic. You know, it moves quickly.
Yeah.
You got to stay with it.
It moves. Yep. So, but you have a big in real life race coming up, like this weekend, right?
not me.
Jesse.
You know, I'm not real good with peer pressure, but
You back up?
sometimes, just sometimes, I can defeat it. No, it's it's chatty weekend. There's a lot of
Cool.
guys doing it.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
5 or 6, I think.
Yeah,
Big-
it'll be
big group
fun
eat there,
to
go.
see how everyone does. No, I've got a niece that's getting baptized this weekend. So yeah,
Okay. That's cool.
but yeah, I think at Truesdale, Craig,
Kelso,
Kelso. I think there's
Kelso.
Jeremy too, right?
Jeremy.
Yep. There's someone else.
Is Tiago? No, Tiago's not doing it.
No.
Now he's just showing off.
Can
his
you
swim
imagine
numbers and just
his
whatever the-
numbers on a downriver swim?
Right.
No.
It's not even fair, I'm sure.
Followed by
Yeah.
a bike and a run.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just
Right.
going to walk the run. I don't need the time.
Yeah. I just like I've only recently, actually because of Eat Dirt, kind of begun to understand like swim times and how they like track the times and per 100 yards or whatever, and what's a good per 100 yard swim time or whatever. Before these conversations, I had no idea. You could have told me, 3 minutes per 100 yards. I'd be like, wow, you're really
Yeah.
smoking.
It's been fun to watch.
I had no idea.
Everyone get faster too. I won't name names, but I mean, you
Yeah,
see
Absolutely.
Yep.
some of these times from like a year ago on swim and ride, bike and everything else, and you see them progress and get a lot stronger. It's pretty inspiring.
Yeah.
It is. I think,
Now this weekend is
well, I was going to say our fellow friend who was kind of in the wings of this when we first started the podcast, but never really committed, Truesdale. He's one of those guys that he is so committed to his training. It's inspiring just to the amount of like will that he has to just stay on it,
Yeah, it's
despite me taunting him to come race and
yeah,
come on, buddy, you can do it.
I'm
He's like,
deep
no,
in-
I can't. I got to stick with my training. I'm like, oh gosh, all right.
to show you the pace that we push. He was on a rest week and he did TTT with us and took like 2 minute pulls.
Beast.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
Rest week.
he's dedicated, man. That's pretty. I think it's a good model for anyone else that really wants to be committed to something like that. I mean,
Well, and you always appreciate somebody who, like him, puts in the effort, and then it pays off, and like he gets the reward from it too. That's really like an uplifting thing. Hard work pays off. All the sub 18 viewers, we don't have any of those.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for Drew's mom to like recommend it to some wayward youth that needs something to do.
Here, watch my son's podcast. with his
Listen to these
friends.
guys. They're grown-ups.
yeah, that can be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're like, oh,
You could be at home on your bike, talking to your friends through a computer too.
In your basement,
We
not
In
your
your
mom's
basement.
basement. Go on your own.
Has that topic been covered in a podcast yet? I don't think so, right?
Living in your
Or
mom's
not
basement.
living in your mom's
No, no,
basement.
Oh,
yeah.
Now
quite.
it
well,
has.
I mean,
What is it?
what if you call them your roommates and
Sure.
they live with you? You don't live with them. Okay.
That's one of the greatest one-liner movies
Grandma's boy.
ever.
I knew we were going to go there.
And it's so unappreciated. Like so underappreciated.
Yeah, my roommates are giving me rims for Christmas.
Is that the movie where there's, I can't remember who it is, but someone says I'm a worthless a-hole who doesn't deserve to live.
Probably.
Yeah.
Was it?
Sounds
I think
right.
so. There's one of the
Nick.
what is this? Adam Sandler
Nick
studio.
something, yeah.
Happy
What's his
Madison.
name? The guy that plays. Anyway, yeah, it's basically a guy moves back in with his grandma after he like loses his job or something.
He's a video game developer.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's got the head developers like wears like a robot, and he wears that
Robot.
black leather.
That black trench. Yeah. The black leather duster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's a throwback there. I'm sure that movie's probably 20 years old now. I'm going to find out.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now.
Research department.
15 years old.
15.
15. Wow.
God, we're old.
So close.
Alan Covert.
Yeah.
That's the
actor.
for the leather trench coat.
Oh, no. The main guy.
Who's the other guy's Nick Swartzen, maybe?
Yeah, Nick Swartzen.
There we go.
Is the friend that I think sleeps with the grandma? Or
I think that's also
grandma's
true.
friend?
Yeah.
I think your enemy is...
It was just funny. It was like every character from an Adam Sandler movie without Adam Sandler
Oh, yeah.
was in that movie.
That was the first attempts to make an Adam Sandler spinoff. I don't think it went very far. Sorry to say. Financially.
Financially. Emotionally.
Critically acclaimed.
Yeah. He lucked out on that Netflix deal, whatever they gave him.
I mean, if you want to get real nerdy about it, that's ended up...
This is what we do.
It's ended up paying off for Netflix and Adam Sandler in pretty big ways.
Really?
Yeah, everyone panned it at the time. And then he made a couple... I mean, look, I got a lot of thoughts on Adam Sandler. But he's financially... He's savvy to the game of Hollywood, if that makes sense. So he knows how to make basically bombs that will make enough money to cover their expenses. And then you advertise heavily for them. You record them as losses. So they show up as losses on your books. And that lets you make the movies you want to make. And Adam Sandler still makes, he's a very good actor. A lot of people make fun of him, but, he'll phone it in when he has to phone it in. But he makes good stuff. He knows how to act.
See,
and so he's made during that same period, he's made like a couple of very critically acclaimed films.
Huh.
So
look at that.
Kudos, Adam.
Interesting.
Little did we know we were going to have Jesse on and talk about Adam Sandler's movies. I mean, it fits.
Sorry.
I'm impressed with your insight. I've never even thought of that.
Jesse and I could probably go off in the corner and talk about some nerd stuff for a while.
You guys feel free. I'll just be over here. I'll just watch with angst.
Anyway. Steve has enough fuel to make fun of me. Let's stop.
Steve provides his own fuel for himself, though. You know that, right?
Yes, very much so. I'll say Miller then.
There you go.
Of course, Miller, who is perfect and never makes mistakes.
That is correct. What did I just say? Strike that from the record. Objection, pandering.
Yeah.
That's not even a thing, is it? Yeah.
No, pandering is a crime usually.
Oh,
That's all right. Yeah.
all right.
On the old books, it's pimping and pandering.
Well, if the shoe fits.
The old P&P.
The old P&P.
So Jesse, were you the one that came up with AK-47?
Let's give a little context here. So anytime
Yes.
we're planning our team time trials on Thursdays, and somebody mentions, hey, what's our speed target? In kilometers per hour is usually how we like to break it down. Used to, Jesse would just pop in randomly, doesn't matter the channel, doesn't matter the level, AK-47, which meant you push.
47 kilometers.
47
per
kilometers an hour.
But 47 quickly turned into like 47 plus, which I don't even think I've reached that unless I'm downhill.
Well, you could. That's the thing. You could. So, when the spreadsheet tells all, but when I first started the team time trials, I think we were, we'd stay in the 43, 44 range, maybe even 42.
Yeah.
You listen to this, Drew?
Yep, 43.
And we did that for a long time. And, I was tracking how we would place amongst the, the frappe group. And we would always be around, top 20%, top 19, somewhere around there of finishers. And I just, it kind of started progressing as we started getting stronger riders, but I just threw it out. Like, why don't we not do 44? Why don't we do like 45 or 46? And then we did that, and it was manageable. Yeah, exactly. And then, we started placing better. And then I threw out 47 kind of in jest. And I think it was on that, the course where Keith Miller put up A numbers that I posted the other day. It was like Deuce France or Duce France. And we placed really well. So then, I kind of just became born AK-47. And I think at least to be competitive, like for a PL spot, I think 47 is probably the minimum in terms of the target on the front. But there's teams that are doing
that's
48,
right.
49.
Well, that kind of sounds very similar to what we were doing with 2 last year around this time. We were like,
What if we
so
went
if the B's
44?
take 1 minute poles and the C's sit in, we could probably do 44, but let's stick to 43 for now. And then we started going up at 43. Yeah, why don't we try 44? We can climb at 3.8.
I gotta say,
Numbers got a little higher.
44 was.
And then it was
44 is, I think, the hard limit for latte, for what it's worth.
yeah. Yep.
That was
I think when we did 44, that was
always a game of
did like 3.8, 3.9.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And then which C is going to finish with us?
Yeah. It's a game of survival.
Yeah, I've been there. That's not a fun game to play on the C's.
No, it's not the best.
That was a Suki's playground or whatever nonsense. And it was like 44 time the climb target 4.2. I was like, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm not making this. And I think Greg dropped off.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, well, Doug, it's
Right.
you.
Oh,
You
that was right after I got the tax.
Yeah.
And I decided the numbers matched perfectly with my pedals, and I was like, oh man, instant power is better than delayed power, so I'll ride on the tax.
Yeah.
And I had not realized, I dual recorded and I compared it. It's like, I was probably like 10 or 15 watts lower where it mattered. That was a big mistake.
I just remember I'll never forget that hill. That's the one with the hogs that run around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
We've commented on that before, but anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Greg drops off, and I think it's Hannah, Truesdale,
You had, and Tiago.
and Tiago.
Yeah.
Was it Tiago?
No, I thought we had
was-
Tiago.
Was it? No, I think Tiago was with Flatland Loop or something like that.
Oh, you're right.
And he dropped me quick.
You're right.
That was when I was, next time that somebody was like, okay, well, Tiago's going to ride with 2. I was like, oh God.
And there's nothing more motivating than saying you're dying, and somebody goes, "Hey, guess what?
Yeah.
You're number 4. You have to make it." You're like, "Oh God, no,
Yeah.
please no."
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's nothing more motivating than you're dying and Tiago's like having a conversation and drinking Mountain Dew.
That's demoralizing. That's the word.
Okay.
Yeah. Tiago's heart rate is 100.
Yeah.
Yours is 180.
Guys, I think we can push it faster. No, Tiago. No one
I
else
was just
can.
going to say, was like, the best part is Tiago has no sympathy. He has no sympathy for the pain and suffering that you're in. He's just like, you're fine. Keep going. You're like, how are you not winded right now? This is amazing.
I think now some people would respond to that. I am one of those people that like, I was doing Saturday or something. I don't remember what the race was. Yeah. And Tiago was doing, like coaching me on.
Yep.
And he's like, no, you're fine. You can do it. Keep pushing. You got it a little bit longer. Yep. And that does help me. But I know not everybody responds to that.
Yep.
Like, you push longer. I'm done.
That was, we rode with Squirrel a few weeks before the TTT World Championships on Sand and Sequoias. We had a team of 8, but like one person was sick the morning of. One person had a technical. So we left the pen, I think, with 6. Truesdale had a power drop out in the first like 3 kilometers. So he dropped out. So we were down to 5. I was like, okay. I think it was Squirrel, Hannah, me, Whit, and John Matt. But 2 laps of Sand and Sequoias. The Squirrel got us there together.
That's painful.
That's very painful.
The same idea of just keep pushing. There's a nice downhill coming up. You can do it. You can do it.
Jesse, I have a quick question because I know we're going to get to Greg's segment here in a minute. But as a fellow music nerd, which I know you are, what role does music play for you in motivation?
A huge role. I won't get, I think there's ways to, I'll say, meditate, right? Or feel like connected to something, whether that's like a workout or a lost loved one or God. And I think music has always kind of been that thing for me. It's kind of just like something that whatever I'm doing, it just helps me focus in and connect. So I will say Team Time Trial it was a huge adjustment because I'm always listening to music if I'm riding, running, anything like that. So having to be on like, a headset and hearing dudes breathe heavy and, just talk back and forth, switch, all of that. It was a big adjustment, but I mean, I feel like it's everything, it's a motivating factor. If you get the right mix and you're kind of, into the song and you've committed yourself to the workout, it kind of helps you push through those tough spots. And then sometimes, whenever so I won't call myself a runner because I don't want to face the ridicule from people who may listen to this, but
he won't listen. He'll tell us he won't listen.
But so it's I think running while listening to music is probably as deep of I'll call it meditative state as I get. I mean, it's very introspective and reflective time, I think. So yeah, everything that I do has music involved with it. The girls know that too. I'm walking around playing music in the evenings on, Bluetooth speakers around the house. And I think they're picking up on it too, which is nice. But we do either once a week, sometimes twice a week, we'll do quiet dinners where we'll put on like soft music and we're not going to talk. We're not going to waste time, but we are going to sit together, and we're going to listen to like a new song. So put like a new song or a new band or something like that on. I mean, you're allowed to talk, but everyone just kind of focuses on eating and, listening to new music. So they actually eat better too. I think that's a parent hack. You take away playtime, take away that. And honestly, coming back to the focus part, I think they focus on what they're doing, focus on eating while listening to music. So, and I love it. I mean, I'm building playlists all the time, no matter what it's for, So, I think it was Clay or Tiago. Someone said to me at one point, I can't remember who it was, but it was either a Spartan or an adventure race or something. It's like, you should probably not, listen to music during that. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna listen to music. I'll make it work. Everything but country.
That's awesome.
Oh, so you don't listen to both types of music, country and Western?
I listen to folk. I'll say folk music, like Trampled by Turtles. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Yeah, so like bluegrass type folk. But yeah, when you grow up, so
sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I have
Kentucky,
the Kentucky accent, but when you grow up around it,
you don't
all the time, and you live the skull ring in the back pocket and the tractors and all that.
Yeah,
it becomes less appealing to me.
It's understood, man. We have that here too. Southeast Missouri. Yeah. It's very close to Kentucky. Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that insight, because I know I also just music to me, and I wanted to point out there are devices, which I think Greg and I both have, that allow you to mix in your own music while you ride TTT.
Yeah.
And not come over the Discord stuff. So
keep a quiet soundtrack.
Yep.
Yeah, just for you. You can still hear your team.
So if you want some info on that,
yeah, I definitely do.
We'll hook you up. But I think you run off of an iPad though, don't you? Yeah. So maybe the hang up there. But anyway, Greg, what do you got for us this week, man?
All right. We return to, this is a sub-segment of our usual Tiger Talk, where we'll talk about tiger toes. Drew almost waded into this territory earlier, but I wanted Drew's take on this because I know he's passionate about Tiger Woods. Recent news, he's making another run. I mean, he's going to show up for the PGA, right?
I can't wait to
and
watch.
Well, just listen. A little wrinkle. He, despite being a lifelong Nike sponsored athlete, he's still wearing those FootJoys. What's that about? Apparently it's something to do with the comfort related to the reconstruction of his entire leg after a not drug-induced car accident. But I want to know what Drew thinks about this.
Well, as a FootJoy wearer myself,
Ooh,
I can only tell you
the conspiracy thickens.
Pleasure being on the golf course with a pair of FootJoys. Mind you, I haven't golfed in like 4 years since my daughter was born. So my FootJoys are probably in need of replacement at this point.
So are you going to make a run for the PGA Tour?
I mean, if they'll have me, I will gladly put my 100 score on the scorecard. I don't think I've ever golfed from the tees that the pros golf from, like the blacks. All the way to
the tips?
I don't think I've ever golfed from there. Yeah. I'm not sure I would hit the fairway on some of those holes. Like, fairway sometimes is 250 yards away. That's a mighty drive. But yeah, I'm a Tiger fan. I root for him every tournament just because I think he's good for golf. But yeah, so now we're paying attention to the footwear that he wears. I saw who was it? I guess it was ESPN. They were talking about after losing all of his endorsements, what is he doing? What is he wearing? What is he playing? And I was like, I really don't care. It's interesting because people read it because it's.
Well, I
Tiger.
think it's pretty telling, right?
Yeah.
Because after they stop paying you to wear something, what the pros actually turn to probably gives a good indication of quality and comfort.
Yep.
Yeah. Is he still wearing his red shirt? It's just a different brand.
Yeah, it's Sunday Red.
Sunday Red.
It's his thing.
So my favorite reference to that is probably Parks and Rec. The red
polo.
The red polo.
Oh.
Yeah, Ron Swanson.
Yes.
Uh-oh, he's wearing his red polo.
Red.
His red polo.
Tammy 2. Not to
oh my gosh,
derail it there. That's such a good show. Anyway.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was the inspiration behind that. I'm sure it was.
Gotta be.
Well, so this may come as a shock, and I know we're fighting stereotypes on this podcast weekly, but I've never played a round of golf.
Nice.
Never.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Considering one of the channels you have muted is the channel that we had the Tiger Woods discussion in.
That's why I had no idea what you were talking about. How did you know I have it muted? Are you hacking me? I'm sure I've told you that.
If I knew how to hack, I promise.
That's true. If you hide something in the computer, Drew's not going to find it.
Yeah. I barely get my microphone working most Tuesday, Thursday mornings.
It's a redeeming quality of Drew. He does not care about technology. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yep. It works. Good. Let's go.
You should try it, Don.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Not caring about technology?
Golf. Yeah.
Golf.
Oh, golf. I don't know, man.
So
I just feel like
my issue. Good.
Well, I just feel like that's a lot of time and money investment for me at this stage in my life. And I have other hobbies that I've already invested in that I enjoy quite a bit. And I just feel like I can always get better at those. So I don't think golf's for me.
The cycling is a little more in line with where I'm at right now, just because I can do it at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning before the kids are up.
Yeah.
You can't really golf at 5:30 because it's dark. It takes.
I'm
sure they
especially
have.
for somebody of mine.
Don't they have
golf.
luminescent balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you can wake up at 5 to drive to a golf course and then start golfing at 6 and then come home at 1 p.m.
I was going to say that's the problem. Is it's a sick for somebody like me with my pace of play and having to go find my golf ball every other hit. It takes me 5-6 hours to get through a round of golf, whereas I could ride my bike for 2-3 hours. And
the fitness of listen.
Sure.
The fitness gains from riding your bike versus golf. I
don't
think anybody's going to question you're going to get more fit on a bike.
You mean to tell me John Daly isn't the picture of health? I mean,
I don't know. Is he still? I mean, does he carry a glass of scotch out onto the green or not?
I think they banned that. They also banned him from smoking on the course, which has caused him to back out of many tournaments.
I think somebody posted a video of John Daly talking about mastering
I think
Hangover.
It was Tim.
Now that's some news I'd like to hear.
It was,
yes,
it was effectively you can't stop drinking.
Just always stay drunk.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you deal with the hangover? I wake up and I take a shot. What?
I mean,
okay.
I learned that in college, but that's not sustainable. Or is it? John Daly would know.
Yeah, I used to golf more before kids, but now it's events. And then usually like one weekend during the year, we'll do like a guy's golf trip. But there's one, maybe two serious golfers. Everyone else is just there for the retreat.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine. He coaches high school golf. And obviously I coach lacrosse in the same season. And he keeps trying to get me to come over to coach golf with him. Because you get to golf the same time that the team does. So it's a nine-hole round, like 2-3 days a week. And you get to play, because we have like world-renowned courses in Westchester here. So like you get to golf some really nice golf courses. And he's like, dude, you got to come and coach. Then we can put each other on the schedule and we can golf like 2-3 times a year together. And I was just like, you get paid for that? Like, that's amazing. But one of those things.
You get paid for that.
You get paid to golf?
What's the, I mean, I guess there is some coaching on like form and technique and stuff for golf.
Oh, yeah.
But the funny thing is like the kids that I would be coaching and teaching are not the kids that are going to states. Those are the kids that have their own private instructor, private coach,
Yeah.
So like I'd go and I'd be like, yeah, looks great. You're doing great, kids.
It's all in the hips.
And we circle all the way back to Adam Sandler.
Full circle. That's what we like to do. Just give it a tap. It's a tap, tap, taparoo.
Tap, taparoo.
Don't you want to go home, boy? It's your home.
Speaking of movies.
Oh. Yes.
Dun, dun.
I did finally watch Civil War.
All right.
Gotta be honest, it wasn't my favorite though.
What?
And like I'm a Captain America fan.
Podcast over.
It was I don't know. I think the reason why was it lacked like definitive flow as compared to all the others. Where like
it's almost too busy.
Yes, exactly. Where it was like jumping from one fight scene to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, without a lot of like segue and story behind it. And I don't know. It felt like gratuitous fighting.
All right, well, hold on. There's also gratuitous fan service in there. So
hell yeah.
Be kind to the fans.
I mean, okay. So frame it as this. It's a Captain America, Iron Man breakup story.
Right.
With tons of action.
Yep.
Okay.
100%.
But they introduced Spider-Man, so that makes the movie for me.
That's
the game over.
I was going to say.
I did think of you when I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, good old New York City boy.
Yeah, I was going to say. That. And he's like, Queens, Brooklyn. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's Drew's area right funny there. Come on.
In that movie, I feel like he adds a good element.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I mean, not to nerd out too much, but like, that's very true to the comic book Spider-Man, the quips and the one-liners.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of also where I'm missing some of like Greg said, the fan service. I never read the comic books. I wasn't a comic book reader, not a comic book fan. You know. So me, I'm watching the movies and I'm like, yeah, I like that character because he's in the movie. I like the movie character.
Right. Not knowing any of the backstory or the millions of story arcs that they've done over the decades of source material.
Yep. So that's it. But yeah, Civil War, you know. And like I said, I think Captain America, of like the leadership group, is probably my favorite Avenger. Iron Man is just a little too over the top, a little too gimmicky.
You just became okay on my wife's list, by the way. Captain America is her favorite. I don't know why. I know why. My favorite line from that movie is Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd makes an excellent superhero.
Oh my God, he really does.
For such a a non-traditional superhero role.
Yep.
He hops out of the van. He's like, "You're Captain America. Thanks for thinking of me." Yeah. I say that all the time. And he's like, "Oh, thanks for thinking. Oh, you're cool too."
Oh, that's the other one. They introduced Black Panther.
Black Panther.
So we got that one.
Chadwick Boseman, man.
Yep.
So sad.
Going too soon.
Yeah.
But,
unbelievable.
Yeah, that was so. Actually, I looked it up and I forgot now. Next, I think is Black Widow. Maybe.
Really?
Now we get into some of like the individual stories before we get back into Avengers.
So I'll say this, Drew.
Sure.
Black Widow is an underrated, I think, funny movie. It is very funny. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
Her sister in that movie. I don't know her name. The blonde girl.
Florence Pugh.
There you go.
Yes.
She is hilarious. She's so spastic and just all over the place.
So true to form. Okay. After I watched that movie, I did some research. Right. I went in and did research on Florence Pugh and. Oh gosh.
Is from what country?
She's from
UK,
right?
She's got a lot of videos out there of like her trying like English dishes, and I think she likes to cook. And I went into like director's cut stuff about how they like interacted off screen. Oh man, she seems to be the exact same person in real life as she is on that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, she's.
Gotta watch for that. That one.
It's good. It's a legitimate good movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's entertaining for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, then we got a whole string. Then we got Black Panther, and Doctor Strange, who I tried to troll, died with Doctor No.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. Got on. And then we get back into those. Actually, no. Then it's Ragnarok, Ant-Man and Wasp, and then back into the Avengers. So we got some time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more
Ragnarok
movies
is really good.
for the next Avengers.
Such a
Yeah.
good movie. Still probably one of my top 5, I would say, if not top
Oh.
3.
Yeah, top 3 for me for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
It's such a glorious journey.
I mean, I can't wait for Love and Thunder when that comes out.
I know.
That's going to be so good
I know.
because it's like Ragnarok. They put their toe in and they committed to it. Like, it's great.
Oh yeah.
But now they know, oh, people like this. Like, let's go full
Yeah.
tilt, you know? Can't wait.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm not even going to ask because I'm going to wait for the movie.
Taika,
You'll get there.
just one word or one name. Taika Waititi. Yes.
Isn't that the Indian tribe from the tribe from
he's a-
Ace Ventura?
No, it's a he.
Wachuti.
That's the Wachutus.
The Wachutu.
Wachutu tribe.
For the record, they are biters. No, Taika Waititi is a New Zealand actor, director, creator, who's comically a genius, and I'd say probably a genius otherwise too. But
Interesting.
yeah,
All right.
Everything he's ever done, I've been like, yes, more, please.
Watching that.
Very good.
All right. So I got Black Widow.
All right, well, we'll
right.
catch up with you on Black Widow then.
I was gonna say, are we about to get Drew fired?
No. I'll be rushing through the shower and getting out, but I'll be all right.
All right.
Well, thanks,
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Good to see you
thanks for having
in
me on.
person. And yeah, welcome back anytime. Looking forward to
We'll
not
see.
dropping you
You'll
tomorrow.
have to circle back on the next podcast.
Look, take your.
We'll update them.
Let me see.
It does.
Your Discord name starts with the J, right? Yeah, you'll be in the middle of the list. You'll be fine. Take a couple 30-second pulls, see how you feel.
Yeah.
Then you can start taking minute pulls, and you'll be fine.
You're just going to have to hold Greg's wheel while he holds, 400 watts. It'll be fine. It'll be great.
Looking
No.
forward to it.
You will be great.
Yeah.
Black
All right,
course.
guys.
Black course.
Black horse. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, till next week.
See ya.
All right.
We'll see you then.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Later.
Suck it, Miller.